Hello and welcome into another video, and today this is going to be yet another one of those videos where I don't want to end off defending a corporation, but kinda weirdly have to. That I'm tired of misinformation, of people blaming Nintendo for things that just are not Nintendo's fault, and it annoys me, and to be fair, I need to open that in a second anyway, but it annoys me because there's so many valid reasons to actually criticise them. I mean, just Animal Crossing took over the world when the pandemic and everything happened. I put so many hours into this. I personally don't think it's even that great of an Animal Crossing game. I think New Leaf was a hell of a lot more Animal Crossing. I liked a lot of what they did, but I also, that as it went on and on and on, I've realised that every time they've done a DLC update, I just could not get back into it. But the biggest issue I have is this game has made several pretty huge major updates. There is still, despite me and many other disabled people complaining since day fucking one, no accessibility features in this game. There's still bugs that you have to be able to hear. There's literally no way to just randomly guess. You have to be able to hear where the bug is to be able to dig, to be able to catch it. And I'm trying to remember what the visual one is. The shooting stars was definitely a problem for me, being visually impaired. I struggled with that, so I got to the point where I just had to spam the ear button just to be able to get them on the wishing nights, the shooting star nights. But there was a visual one as well, and it's annoying me because it's not off the top of my mind. It's not something that I've been playing recently, so I can't remember it. But two things, one for the deaf community, one for the visually impaired community, and they've never got around to just doing anything to add it. And then we have games like this where the Skyward Sword HD remaster with some of the worst controls. Like, how do you make a game that was notorious for bad controls, say you're going to fix controls, and then make it worse? There's so many valid reasons to criticize Nintendo. So fucking many reasons to criticize them for a lot of things that they are not great with. But it's when people complain about Pokemon and some of the scumminess that they do. Well, most of the scumminess that they do, of which I do a lot, except I acknowledge that Nintendo owned like 30% of Pokemon, and I know I bring this up from time to time, but it's the sort of thing that misinformation is everywhere and no one seems to understand this. So it's why I do bring it up, because it's important to understand that Nintendo don't have as much say in the Pokemon company as people think they do, let alone with Game Freak. But in the space of a couple of days, I've had a podcast bring up one thing, which is why I'm in the controller here. So to be fair, I've just realised I'm actually in the wrong thing. I'm in controllers, and I need to go into edit mapping. And the other one is something that a friend said that I'll have to bring up. I'll bring that up when I can actually put some game footage on, because at this moment in time, it's just my voice that you're hearing, and obviously some clicks. The thing that came up on the podcast is people complaining specifically about ZLZR, which, don't get me wrong, I don't think they're the best named buttons. I think you could have maybe done Z1 and Z2, to be honest, or Z1, Z2, I think would have been better for the controller, but I understand that L and R because of the shoulder pads. Like, it's one of those that were kind of screwed from the fact that they invented the Z button and they kind of had to carry it forward. I don't think the naming or anything is that great, but I also don't think it's much of a problem as long as you actually understand what a Nintendo controller is, because at the end of the day, if you put Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on, what's your lock on to an enemy? And yes, I said lock on to an enemy instead of Z targeting, which is clearly what it was called, because Nintendo were the ones who made it, and they called it Z fucking targeting, which was a bit weird for Nintendo, but it was the console that the Conquest Bad Fur came out on, so I understand why it had fucking in it. But yeah, Z targeting is their thing. Like, they invented it. Like, every open world or any kind of action game where you can lock on to an enemy, you have Nintendo to thank for that. But it was the complaint of, and why is it that Nintendo has ABXY in a different order to an Xbox? Nintendo fucking... You see that controller there, the NES controller? That was there. And then after the NES controller, and I wish I'd had it set up to be able to just purely fucking do this, because now I have to remember where the hell SNES is. Yeah. Then they made that controller with ABXY on it. In the exact same order that ABXY has been in on every single fucking Nintendo console. And it's absolutely fucking maddening to me that this is still a thing, that people still complain about this. Because even worse is that they were complaining, yeah, because it's like ears to confirm and ears in a different place. Sony had Circle to confirm in Japan for the longest time. And I even have some old PS1 games that still do it, because it was before they made the swap. They made the swap because of Microsoft coming out, and suddenly that was popularizing a different method. So then cross became confirm, which is the bottom button. And it's not Nintendo who fucked up controllers, it's Microsoft. There are so many valid fucking reasons to complain about Nintendo. I am genuinely sick of the invalid ones, because I swear this is why nothing ever fucking changes with this company. I do love a lot of their games, but I do hate a lot of their practices. Game chat is such a fucking... I've used it once, and the only reason we used it is because my friend, at the same time as myself, obviously, the Mario Kart had just came out. We wanted to be able to hear the soundtrack, because Mario Kart World has got one of the greatest soundtracks of all fucking time, so we wanted to be able to hear that while we played. So we had to use game chat instead of just sitting in Discord like we usually do. Game chat is not a good experience at all. They might have changed it since we used it. Again, literally used it once. I would like to have actually been able to play with that friend more on Mario Kart. We tried to set it up a couple of weeks ago, but they are also autistic as fuck, and they also had their sleep cycle completely fucked, but they live in New Mexico, so their time cycle was already, I think they're like 8 hours behind me. I'm trying to remember if they're 7 or 8, because they used to live in California, so they were 9. To be fair, it might have been 8 for that. I do actually know time zones, but purely because of hockey, and it's one of those that I do time zones in a weird way where I'm like, okay, so that would be a 3 a.m. face-off, that would be a 2 a.m. face-off, so that's the weirdness of how we do it. So Colorado would be 2 a.m. face-off because they're 7 hours, so California would be 8 hours, to be fair then. Yeah, so either way, it meant that it was impossible for us to ever sync up our schedules to be able to play it, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to it at some point, because obviously there's a couple of new knockout tours and that, and they are in the middle of adding more knockout tours, and hopefully they'll add those sooner rather than later, because I have made a video about it. I've made a lot of videos, to be honest. Like this might be becoming a general update to end the video, because I'm kind of done with what I wanted to say with Nintendo anyway. I've made a lot of videos recently and realised that I've not been able to upload certain ones at certain times, and now it's like there's a couple where I genuinely don't know if I should upload them, because shit happens so fast. And this is the thing, when I've been trying to stick to a schedule of uploading, but also have my sleep cycle be fucked, and barely sleeping due to so many pain issues, and I just cannot for the life of me get a doctor's appointment at this moment in time. But all of this adds up, and it means that now I've got videos where it's like, when Microsoft laid off a fuck ton of people, and I was honestly feeling pretty shitty that day and depressed anyway, and I'm like, I really don't want to be uploading this, because like everything I've been uploading recently has been so dark and depressing, and I've now just got this video of the game industry is on fire, and I don't know if I even want to fucking upload it. Like, it's one of those I'll figure out. And it's not as if like anyone will come to this for current news. Maybe people will be willing to watch a video where I essentially crash out about fucking Microsoft, even though technically so far this week they've done nothing. I mean, the week's early. It's only Tuesday. The week's early. I think it's Tuesday. I'm now having one of those moments where, yeah, it's got to be Tuesday, yeah. Again, sleep cycle's fucked. It's fucking 12:30 in the afternoon, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm recording this right before bed, so yeah. Brain's a bit foggy, to say the least. Especially because I've just watched one of the only remaining hockey movies I'd never seen before, and holy fucking shit, Youngblood is one of the most 80s of 80 movies. I've just realised I'm supposed to be going to Ellie's, that's why I'm fucking... Sorry, I'm just wandering around. I only got this to be able to play with someone, and again, we started Borderlands 1, but never got around to even getting to the others, and Borderlands 3 does run a hell of a lot better than it ever did on the Switch 1, that's for sure, on the Switch 2. I would love to think that we'll eventually get a Switch 2 upgrade, because I'd like to still keep the 60 FPS. Not that anyone at Gearbox will ever be watching this, or whoever the hand off the port job to for this. I'd like to still keep the 60 FPS, because this is very nice. This is very, very nice. Like, on a Switch, when this game didn't come close to hitting 60 FPS, this is very nice. But the lack of enemies, the lack of detail, the lack of just anything. I'd like some of that, because I know what this game can look like, and I'm not expecting it to look like amazing like on my PC, but, you know, it can look better than this on the Switch 2. I know fine well it can, because the Switch 2 is weirdly fucking impressive when it comes to tech. I still can't believe some of the things that actually run on this. That I'm being genuine when I say there are some moments in Star Fox that make my PC look terrible, and I'm like, I know fine well my PC is like twice, if not 3 times the power of this fucking thing. How are you doing this? But yeah. So yeah, I've got a bunch of videos that I genuinely don't know if I'm going to get around to uploading them. And by the time I finally get up to uploading the industry being on fire with Microsoft laying off so many fucking people and getting rid of just by the time I even get that up, they'll have probably done something else because again, the week is young and that just seems to be every week. The two fucking companies are. It's the new console war, I swear down. It's like who can gut the industry the fastest while Nintendo sits there doing their own fucking thing and people complain about the most asinine shit when they could be complaining about real shit that Nintendo could actually change. Like, better internet. It's kind of embarrassing how bad their online still is, and this was supposed to be the console that was better. And don't get me wrong, it's better than the fucking Switch 1, but yeah. Nintendo, please at any point bring some of your stuff up to modern day times. I just beg of you. It's like you've got this really weirdly impressive console, but then there's these little tiny things. And to be honest, when it comes to online play, that's not really that little. There's these little tiny things that it's just like, I really wish this would be a little bit better, or a lot better in some cases. And surprisingly, one of them is not that you should change the controller design layout that you fucking popularized. Yeah. Anyway, weird vid, short vid, just bizarre vid, I'm aware. Until next time, I've been Sky Fellowship. I truly do hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye! So, I've recorded this, like, ages ago. At least a week between. And I wasn't even planning on uploading it anytime soon. I figured by the time I'd get around to uploading it, but playing Split, I do not know why I can never fucking see a Splatoon. It is just like the worst word for me to trip me up with my tongue. Playing Splatoon Raiders. Yeah, it even fucked up playing that. It's 2026. And this is just kind of an accessibility fucking nightmare, to say the fucking least. This may actually be one of the fucking worst ones. I mean, they've got lock ink colours to make things easier to see. I assume that is kind of helpful to some colourblind people, but that's not, like, there isn't any of the actual colourblind options where you can choose what kind of colourblindness you are. You can choose to put shapes on things, like, none of that's there. There's no way to make the text bigger or anything like that. Like, this is what I mean by there are so many valid things to complain about with Nintendo. I'm on a monitor that is 5 inches bigger than my old monitor. Like, I'm so glad I actually went for a slightly bigger one. But even then, I'm still having to sit way closer than I should do to be able to see what's on the screen. The level 2 in the bottom left is microscopic from where I'm sitting to record this, and I only obviously know it's there because I was, looking for it earlier, trying to figure out where my level thing was. Like, there's so many little fucking pieces of text that just, there's no way to change any of the fonts, which dyslexic fonts exist for a reason. There's so many valid things to complain about with Nintendo. Their accessibility is absolutely fucking abhorrent for 2026. I'm not expecting Naughty Dog levels of accessibility or Insomniac levels of accessibility, but basic colorblind options, basic change the font size, change the HUD size, change the actual font in case you need it for dyslexic fonts, which I do personally. I'm really struggling as well with the way these Splatoon writing, I guess, looks, which I know that that's on other Splatoon games, but this is the newest one. This is the 2026 one, which I don't know if it's just me, but considering I'm playing this on an OLED now as well, this kind of looks like a Switch 1.5 game to me. There's like a weird haze over everything. There's just some parts of it look better than others, but I'll talk about that more when I actually talk about the game. This is just mainly continuing on with the valid reasons to shit on Nintendo. Their accessibility needs are terrible. Like, they need to do better. This is something that people should be rallying behind, should be complaining about, instead of the asinine control scheme layout that they invented and how it's a problem that they don't do what Xbox does now. Like, complain about valid things, like the fucking accessibility, please, I'm begging you. Like, and I know I'm very close to this. I'm visually fucking impaired. I need these. But I also want audio accessibility as well, because again, I know I mentioned it earlier in the fucking video, the Animal Crossing thing. Would it have killed them to put a vibration or like visual ping like that? Like just a, oh, I'm standing over the right thing, an exclamation point appears so that I know to dig. Like, And the colorblind, I'm not colorblind, but I started this with actually complaining about the colorblind lack of, well, I say lack of, again, because I'm not colorblind, I don't know how much that lock color thing is useful. I also know there's so many different kinds of colorblinds. I'm really hesitant to say that they've managed to find a way to fix all colorblindness with just that one simple option. This is why every time a game has colorblind options, you usually have to go through the different forms, you know? But yeah, put the criticism where it's valid. That, the online, like, there's so many little things that they should be able to fix. We have the technology. This is a thing. This isn't us asking them to invent things. We're not saying, please invent a way to make text bigger. You know, just add fucking accessibility to your games. It's maddening. Right. This time, this should be the last edit, because there should not be any more, because I wasn't even expecting to make this cut. I'm now actually going to go, play the game and have fun and talk about it. Okay, bye.